Good evening, Grade 5 parents. Tonight I will run you through the Grade 6 Science program, our teaching and learning strategies, and how you can best support your child with science. My name is Mrs. Sheed, and I have been at ISF Academy for 6 years. And during my time, our Grade 6 science curriculum has evolved, aiming to spark passion for your children and also to introduce them to the MYP program. The course in Grade 6 will give your child invaluable knowledge and skills which will help them progress through the MYP, and these skills are even transferable up to the DP program. Our curriculum design incorporates both the IB Learner Profile, which you've heard about from Mr. Johns, and there is also a skill focus for Grade 6 through our approaches to teaching. To break this down further, scientists need to be communicators. They need to be thinkers. They need to be knowledgeable, and most importantly, they need to be inquirers. To build up your child's skills, we will be focusing on the following ATLs in Grade 6. Their communication skills, their critical thinking skills, being reflective, and also being creative. The science curriculum is made up of 5 units. The first unit is called Crazy Science Investigation. The second unit is called What's the Matter? Our third unit is Climate Change, and it is an interdisciplinary unit with the subject Individuals and Societies. Our fourth unit is called Electromancer, and finally, our last unit is All Systems Go. Now these units are known as integrated units, and what that means is that within each unit there is an element of physics, chemistry and biology. When students move to Grade 9, they'll be doing more discrete units of chemistry, physics and biology, and they'll also do that with a specialist teacher. This will further prepare them for their future studies. I'm sure Mr. Johns has already mentioned that the MYP program is a concept-based program. For science, this means that for each unit there is one major concept in which the content is taught through. We have 3 concepts in science which we'll focus on. The first concept is systems, change, relationships. The first unit of Grade 6 Science is Crazy Science Investigations. This unit introduces students to working in the laboratory, the basics of MYP science, and how to write a full laboratory report. The unit's concept is systems. As mentioned, one of our aims for our Grade 6 science students is to develop their communication skills. We use the following learning strategies to work on this ATL skill. In class, students will have a handwritten interactive notebook. We will also use Moodle to put all our resources, and also students will periodically be using their computers. And on their computers, they'll be using specialist programs like Google Spreadsheets to make graphs and tables to analyze data. An emphasis is also placed on students reading information texts, learning to paraphrase information, and we do intentionally teach students to write in passive voice. Within the classroom, students will make videos. They'll also do a lot of presentations. Some of these will be informal, others will be formal presentations. This is an example of an interactive notebook, and as you can see, on the right side is for the teacher input, and the left side is for students to draw their understanding from the day's work. The second unit, What's the Matter, has a focus on practical work, looking at the particle theory and also how heat is transferred. At the end of this unit, students design a pizza box, considering their knowledge on heat transfer and how they choose the material. The key concept for this unit is relationships. As the year moves forward, we will also be focusing on increasing the students' critical thinking skills. This will be done through the teaching strategies of, for example, interpreting data in graphs and tables, brainstorming, mind mapping, using and making models. The third unit is called Climate Change. This is a unique unit as it is an IDU. IDU stands for Interdisciplinary Unit. The subject of science will work with the subject of individuals and societies to deliver the content for this course. This is a powerful unit as it enables students to see the connections between subject areas and to realize that learning does not occur in discrete units. Students will use their knowledge they gain from both science and individuals and societies in the development of a global citizenship profile. The key concept for this unit is change. Along with students gaining knowledge in our science program, we'd like them to be able to see what they have learnt and how they've learnt the material. For each unit, the student will spend some time reflecting on their progress and identifying how they best learn and where they can improve. The fourth unit is called Electromancer, and its key concept is relationships. It begins by building from the previous unit on climate change by getting students to consider how electricity is made and what are some better alternatives to how we make electricity at the moment. There is also an emphasis on practical work, and students will be building electrical circuits and conducting tests on an electromagnet. In grade 6, we want students to be inquirers. Throughout the year, they'll be conducting experiments, they'll be designing and observing and collecting data and analysing results. We also place an emphasis on using secondary sources, establishing which sources are reliable and creating a works cited list. The final unit for grade 6 focuses on the concept of systems. The unit begins by defining a system and using a cell as an example. Students learn about the organelles of a cell. They progress to then understanding the basics of DNA, and in completion of the unit, they will do something called dragon genetics, in which they actually get to breed their own dragons. The table below shows the summative assessment that happens in grade 6. How do you best support your child? There are several ways that you can support them. First of all, you can help them self-assess. One of the things that is given with each task sheet is a rubric. This rubric has task-specific clarifications, and you can use them to create a discussion with your child about the work they're working on and do they actually meet that rubric. So looking at the clarification and discussing that with your child. Talking to them about their time management, how are they organising their time, looking at their reflection documents and assessing what goals they identified and how are they working to achieve that goal. This slide I've included just for additional information. Please read this at your own leisure. Finally, thank you so much for listening today. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me, or please email Mr. Westpratt, who is our Head of Faculty Science.